Good day, collective. How are y'all doing? I am doing well, especially for a Monday. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the Mother. I This message I'm going to dedicate to my mother because, and I feel the same way about my dad, but that's another story. The word of today is I am. I am divinely protected and abundantly loved. The best way I can explain this to y'all, to share what this means to me, is to share the sacrifice of my mother and what I think her early death, she was older, but she still died young. What it means to me. COVID-19 was a very, very hard time for a lot of people. And it was the time, literally, that I had an eco death. Some would call it the dark night of the soul. I lost my parents within a year of each other. Both of their deaths was very, very, very intense. In every sense of it. And my mom, I was pregnant with my twin boys as she was on her last, I was in my third trimester of pregnancy during COVID. She was in a nursing home, and trying to see her was hard. We had to wear those big old hazmat suits, and I remember taking my hands, and taking it out the gloves and putting my flesh to her flesh. So if I couldn't remember anything, I could feel her. I sang to her those last couple times because I knew that once I hit a certain mark, because I was in preterm labor all the time, that I wouldn't be able to come back. And I just instinctively knew she was going to pass by the time I could get back, from having the babies. And our last time together, I believe she passed the time before last that I saw when I would sing to her. I was in a very, very rocky relationship during the death of my parents and COVID-19 with the boy's father. And it was just so bad for me and toxic. And I had lost myself in the process. That relationship was contrast for real, y'all, to help me see myself. So I thank that person for helping me to see myself and to help me see the type of people and the type of energy I don't want anywhere near me, but I digress. The divine protection and the abundant love comes in because, and I repeat these numbers, y'all, in my head on a daily basis to remind me of the gratitude, the extreme gratitude I feel that I am protected and loved, because the things that have happened just don't make sense, y'all. When I was in those darkest moments, in the darkest of nights, God, I have always been an intuitive person. I've always been a faithful person. I've always been a divine at my core person, no matter what. Integrity, telling the truth, being kind, loving people, giving to people. It has always been my core, but I have had problems just like everyone else. And a lot of it, I couldn't even see myself because I was so traumatized that I never stopped to heal those things from me in my childhood, maybe before then, that had happened. And I asked God, I remember right before, when I knew my dad had died in the middle of all the George Floyd protests, my mom, was dying. I said to God, please, please. And I was in this horrible, horrible, traumatic relationship. Please show me in the physical that you are here with me. It's not that I don't believe you, But up to that point, y'all, I have always been very intuitive. They call me a intuitive, whatever you want to call me. And I had only seen the negative. I've only seen not just negative people, but people, places, and things that were negative, like that had been either trying to siphon my energy or trying to attack me. And that includes influencing the people that I love to get close to me and hurt me. But I'd never seen the positive of energetic beings. I've never seen the goodness. And I said, God, demonstrate it to me. And God heard me. The week before the boys were born, like I said, I was in a very hard relationship, and I just had to get away. It was supposed to be Mother's Day. We had gotten into a major argument. My kids were involved, and I was big and pregnant, and I just ran away to a hotel to settle my mind and have peace. And I knew that wasn't, I didn't want to go into labor, and I just was there. And when I came back, my girl's mother, by a different father, had come, and she was helping to take care of me. And that morning, after she arrived and I returned back to the house with her, the next morning, I had this dream, and it was of angels. And they showed my mom as a child, and they said, the mothers are to be revered. They are to be honored for the sacrifices they will make. And I remember I panicked in my dream. I said, oh my God, are my babies okay? Are my babies okay? This was 5/12, May 12th. I said, are my babies okay? I said, they are fine, but the mother is to be revered for their sacrifice. Now, keep in mind, this is the backdrop. My mom had died April 27th. My daughter had a severe seizure and ended up in the hospital, which was a very terrifying May 5th. This was May 12th. And so that next morning, I woke up from the dream, and I was like, what does this mean? And I woke up, my water broke. I started hemorrhaging everywhere. Rushed to the hospital. I was bleeding everywhere. They had to rush me on the table. They had to do an emergency C-section. They were afraid they were going to lose me. They thought they were going to lose me and the babies. Then they couldn't find my son before they did surgery. For 20 minutes, they couldn't find his heartbeat. My youngest son, and they had to find that. It was crazy, y'all. My other son came out not breathing. It was so terrifying, that whole experience. And then the topper, after a proud, happy mother to see her sons alive, and I'm alive. I made it through, and now I know I had those babies with the condition I have. What? Miracle. Then I had to watch my mom's memorial on the following days because I couldn't be there. I couldn't be there at her memorial. So I had to watch from a video Zoom in the hospital while the rest of my family was there, and I couldn't even be with my mom. The family decided to schedule the memorial in Chicago, where I was, because I couldn't travel. I just had twins, on June 19th. A Dodge Ram. On the way to her memorial, I was following my partner at the time. He had the two boys in the car with him, and I was following in the car with my two girls, turned right on the expressway and slammed into the car with him and my two kids, and I was following in the car. I thought they were dead. They walked away with minor injuries. Their dad was injured very bad, but they walked away from minor injuries. And then, November the 3rd of 2023, they were involved in a very significant accident, again with their father. And car flipped, they could have died. My kids have been abundantly protected, and I have been divinely loved, and I will never, never, never take it for granted.